Where is your mind? Is it up here? Is it out there in the universe? Do we share a collective consciousness and then we are all part of one hive mind? In this video, I'm going to talk to you about where our mind actually is, and understanding this will help you shape your reality to the way you see fit. I believe many humans on this planet have not realized their full potential and have honestly, like the majority of us, forgotten what it even means to be human. This has been going on for hundreds, even thousands of years now to bring us to the states we're in now. But understanding a few things around the way our minds and the laws of reality work will help us harness it and to make each of our lives that of abundance. My name is Ifty. I'm here exploring the realms of spirituality, higher guides, and sharper intuition. As a paramedic for over a decade, I had many experiences dealing with something called TBIs, traumatic brain injuries. And what happened when someone had a TBI is they would present with real physiological symptoms, maybe slurred speech, one sided vision, facial drooping. And these things, of course, prevented this device from working how it was supposed to. But at the same time, it made me realize a few things about the nature of the mind. And now, getting into the realm of spirituality, I now realize some incredible things about the mind that I never even thought of before. And something that spiritual teachings have had in place for like a very long time. So, one of the recent things, just from my readings, that I've been fascinated by is the fact that our mind does not reside in our body, and in fact, our body resides in our mind, which is sort of a trip, but I'll get into that in a second. What made me think about this, a story that was told about a man a long time ago who had walked into his doctor's office complaining of a headache that he had had for a very long time. The doctor in the office went through his whole examination, looking at the patient, asking him questions. He was acting very coherently. His wife didn't complain of any sort of differences or changing personality. So they sent him in to do a brain scan. And when they did the brain scan, they found something incredible. They found that this man had the majority of his brain mass eaten away by a sort of bacteria, and a very small amount of brain mass was left. Now, such a small amount of brain mass that was left, it was actually inexplainable to the emergency room staff and the x-ray technicians how this man had lost so much brain mass but was still able to walk and talk coherently as if it was him. But it actually does make sense when you look at some ancient Hindu teachings which describe the body as three bodies. There is the physical body, which includes the brain matter. There is the subtle body, which is an energetic aura, if you will, an energetic existence of the body. Think about when you're sleeping at night and someone is maybe like a foot away from you. It's very likely that you're going to wake up. Or even you're standing in line somewhere and someone's like right behind you. They're not actually touching you, but they're interacting with your aura. They're actually smashing into your subtle body. And then you have the other body outside of that, which is the causal body. This is a body of pure light and is connected to infinite expanded awareness. Oftentimes, this is not something we are going to be aware of. But the two bodies which we can focus on is the physical body and the subtle body. The mind, evidenced through this experience, is not in the body. It would make sense why this man was fully conscious, because consciousness does not reside in the brain like traditional science has tried to explain. Oftentimes, the explanation from traditional medical fields and science is that consciousness exists of multiple electromagnetic interactions that happen within the brain. But see, our brains are simply transmitters of information. You can think of your brain like a radio. A radio itself is not capable of producing a radio station. There is clouds of broadcasted media out there, and the radio is able to tune to certain frequencies. In our situation, a very narrow band of frequencies where we have access to specific information from the broadcasted cloud. Now, what happens if I took this radio and I like smashed it on the pavement, or I kicked it, or I bent the antenna off, the transmissions would get fuzzy. The transmissions may even stop completely. And this is what we see when a patient is having a stroke. The transmitter, which is the brain, has been injured. The transmitter may have an occlusion. And these things within the brain prevent the transmission of clear signals from broadcasted media all around us, or the infinite expanded awareness, or collective consciousness, how you want to think about it. Now, realizing that you are not your mind, that you are actually a manifestation of your mind, makes us all think and wonder if we can impact our mind or if we can change our mind. What effect and projections will that have on our reality? See, you're not your thoughts. Your mind is a collector of thoughts. But just like the mind is not in our body, if we can acknowledge that and change the mind, the projections of what we'll see around us will reflect that. The reticular activating system is the very circuitry within your brain that will actually notice things as they become more closer to your reality. Think of buying a new car. You go and buy a Honda Civic, for example, and you're driving around, and now you see Honda Civics everywhere, where before you didn't notice them at all. These things are now in your wavelength of perception. They are very much a part of your reality. And so it will notice other things very similar in vibration to that thing in your reality. We do this unconsciously, but acknowledging the power of the RAS, knowing that it is inherently part of this radio receiver system that we call the brain, we can start to think of things and visualize and realize things that we want to have as part of our reality, vibrating on the level of as if we already have them, will bring things into our life. And I have a mentor actually that frequently says, you must be the thing that you want to be. Being the thing that you want is going to attract the right circumstances, will train the RAS to notice those things, to bring them into your reality. And this is how we can sort of shift timelines from who we were back then to who we are now. The mind is a very plastic thing. It's not actually even something that, resides in our brain. Is far more plastic and moldable than we realize. And so much more moldable that if we were to realize it, we can each recreate our own realities, which is mind blowing to me. So, with that being said, I have a little exercise for you. It's called the reality reflection exercise. Write down your ideal version of your reality, down to the very minute details, down to the very items you want to have, the relationships you want to have, the place you're going to live, the things you're going to have. My reality reflection is at least a couple pages long. I read it every single day. I meditate on it. In fact, I think about the feelings and emotions that I would be feeling as if I was already there. And what's happened is I've trained my RAS to notice things in my life that vibrate with that level of reality. And it's been really incredible, some of the serendipitous, spontaneous things that have come into my life since I've been doing this. So I recommend trying this reality reflection exercise for yourself. Let me know down in the comments below if you've been doing this, if you found anything in this video helpful, and I appreciate all of you coming on this ride with me here today. Until next time, friends, peace.